thing is that there's actually 4 ways to do this, and one way is just to have signals. That's also automated trading, having alerts. Alerts is different to signals because in the alert the trader can discretionally decide at the very end if he wants to take this trade or not. This is okay for trend trading, but that's not okay for scalping. And signals is when you just take the trade without making the final decision. So that's the slight difference. That's also automated trading. What I don't like about that is that it's a black box. You don't really know what is behind that. The other way of doing automated trading is semi-automated. The robot enters the trade and you do the exiting manually or let the robot do it. That's okay, but the problem with introducing discretionary decisions is that you can destroy the statistic, right? So we are more in favor of the fully automated trading style where the bot does everything. It enters the trade, it exits the trade, and the trader knows exactly what is behind the bot. That is the best way to go about automated trading in our viewpoint. So for that you need, of course, education. You need to know what is behind the bot, what are the rules, how do I optimize, and a lot of things. Just to make a short recap what an automated trading system is, you must have 3 legs out of 6. And here are the 6 possible legs you should have in an automated system, which are entry rules, exit rules, filters, position management, money management, and risk management. And the simpler the better. And at least you should have 3 of them, which is entry rules, exit rules, and filters. That would make you already profitable. But I've never seen a table with 2 legs only. If you have only entry rules and exit rules, that's not really a stable trading system. Is akin to a table that has only 2 legs. So we recommend you at least have 3 legs out of 6. That's the minimum. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to actually take a very simple software, which I recommend very highly, and which is for free if you have only 10 rules, and you can start playing around and doing your own systems. As I already said, one thing people don't recognize, if you are really looking for financial freedom and you just are really practically staying all day long in front of the screen, basically it remembers me to this movie, right? That's actually a 24/5 manual trader. That's how many people start, right? You are the whole day, you just need the collyrium on your eyes, but you become a slave of trading. And this is not the idea. The idea really is that you become more smart, you use the time better. That's one of the reasons to do our actually automated trading the way we propose. So you of course need to learn. There is a lot of work to it, but I'm trading now. I mean, I'm not trading this week for obvious reasons. I stopped all my bots already 2 weeks ago, not only in the cable. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we better don't trade. Otherwise, we don't stop the bots, they stop themselves, and we just only supervise from time to time, every second Saturday or every Saturday, and that's a much smarter way, I think, to do the trading. Okay, so let's go to the tips. That's actually the purpose of this lecture today, and the tips are very simple actually. Build simple EAs. That's what I'm going to do right away. I'm going to take a software which I like very much. I've been fiddling with it the other Sunday in just one evening. I did for bots. This is FXstreamer. You have the link here, fxstreamer.com. I can put it as well in the chat. I have no commissions on this software whatsoever, but it's so simple to deal with it. It's so intuitive, and this is a system I did in just 2 minutes preparing the webinar today. You just drag and drop here stuff. Let's show you, for example, like for example, you say I don't have a trade. That's a rule, right? You see, I just drag and drop it from here. If there is no trade, I'll put it a condition, right? And I will connect them. You see that? And okay, if there is no trade, and I'm going to open this condition, and you can decide, okay, then check if the price For example, I'm just making it out of the blue. I'm not preparing here. Check if the candle at the close is above a moving average of 21, for example. And I want to optimize that. So I'm going to put here that this variable is going to be externalized. You see that? So it's, if there is no trade done by the bot, it's going to check if at the candle close, you see that, is above the moving average of 21. I update it. The rule is already taking. And this is the positive rule, this orange here, and that's the opposite rule, the yellow here, right? And let's put another condition here. Let's drag another condition, which could be not formula not. And what could we want? It's like we are above a moving average. Let's try, for example, an oscillator, right? I'm going to show you now in MetaTrader what I'm doing exactly. Just many of you understand what I'm doing, but some maybe are a little bit lost. And let's say, for example, let's check if the RSI or MACD, let's check RSI. Because this system is going to make you no money, actually. I already know it. And I'm going to show you another system that's going to make you money. A very simple system, right? Check if the RSI is above the value of 70, for example, right? That's an oversold level. What I'm doing here, if I show you now MetaTrader, is I'm taking very simple rules, very simple rules that everybody more or less would understand. Let's take here the euro dollar and just show you the rules. I'm opening here a new chart on the euro dollar. I'm going to put it black and white because it's more visible. And I'm going to do exactly what I did, a moving average of 21. I have here my indicators, which is here a moving average. I'm going to put it in a darker color because it's a simple moving average, right? If the candle is above the moving average, okay, and next condition, the RSI, that's an oscillator showing values of oversold, whatever. If it's above the level of 70, then, for example, it's actually above 30. I did it wrong. Above 30, then do a buy trade, for example, right? That's what I'm doing here. Let's change this here. It's above 30. That's a signal of buying, right? And an RSI of 14, and this two parameters, I'm going to put them external so I can optimize them. And if this is the case, then buy now. You saw what I want to show you is that you can do systems in no time. It took me like, what was it, 2 minutes, including the explanation. And I'm going to give it a nice name over here. I'm going to call it what is it? Trendy moving average plus RSI. That's the name of the bot. I'm going to export it here with one mouse click, but this is another bot. So not to confuse, I'm going to delete this. This was a Bollinger experiment I did the other day. And I'm going to do it on every, I need to put the condition on every candle, otherwise it's going to do it every tick, and that's not really what I want. Okay. And where was that? Just 1 second. On the candle, right. Okay, and now I export this. You see that? To MQ4. And that's my bot, and it's for free. I just did a bot which buys when the price is above the moving average, and the RSI is above 30, the lower level. And I can make it as complicated as I want. I can put all kinds of objects. I can import here my customized indicators. I can apply templates. I can do all kinds of trading actions. I can do baskets. I can do martingale. I can put counters. I'm just showing you the simple way of doing it, right? And I just got the bot. You see, I'm not, so far, I'm not using more than 10 rules. It's for free, and otherwise I'm paying $19 per month for the full license, which is no money actually. It's a no-brainer, right? So I have my bot, and what I did another one actually, because this one, I know it will make no money, but I'm going to show you another one I did. I'm optimizing it right now. It's this very simple system. I'm going to tell you the rules now. It's basically 2 moving averages and an ADX. An ADX is an indicator of trendability, we could call it, right? If we're trending, and look at that, I just started to optimize just before the webinar on the euro dollar. It's finishing in 3 minutes. If we have a little bit of patience, and it's making me okay money over the last 9 years, because we optimize over long-term periods. And this optimization takes me only 20 minutes. I did the bot in 2 minutes, as you saw, and actually I could give you the bot for free, no problem. You just send us an email. It's not the greatest bot of the bots, but it's profitable, right? And it has very simple rules, and I will give you our email later. And I'm still optimizing. It's getting new optima here. It's telling me, okay, when the ADX of 4 periods is above the value of 31, I can draw it here so that you get an idea what kind of system is that. So this is the ADX, which is a very interesting indicator. Where is it? Here. Let me expand this because I'm not really seeing very much where the indicators are. ADX is not here. ADX. Where is the ADX here? I don't like that they put so many submenus in the new MetaTrader. Now you don't find the ADX. Was so simple before. It was all just alphabetical. Well, here you go. That's the ADX. You see when we have more trends, you see that? ADX, the central line, there's 3 lines, plus DI, minus DI. What we're looking at is at the central line, the central indicator. This means we are trending. You see that? Down here, the blue line, we are not trending. Okay, we are looking just simply that we are above a certain level, so that we are certain we are really in a trend for this very moment. And the level, I will check now which level I got from the optimization. It was actually 31. You see that here, right? For that value, and I'm going to put it in a darker color, so we see that it's not very visible and a bit fatter, so everybody can see the line. Okay, so you see that, right? When the ADX is above a certain level, that's an ADX of 14, the optimization told me for the euro dollar, we're not going to trade the cable today. Hopefully, nobody's going to trade it, unless you're doing news trading, but that's dangerous too, right? Every time it's above a certain level, it's more trendy or less trendy. Okay, so I'm getting this here, and what I have above is basically 2 moving. And it tells me here a moving average of 51 and a moving average of 2. That's the system. And then you just put a fixed take profit of 100 points and a fixed stop loss of whatever the optimization tells me. You see that? And I'm going to show you the back test. I did it just now. I mean, it's not something which I prepared. I just did it just to prepare for the webinar, okay? Just to prove you that you can do so many training systems if you have just ideas. You don't even need to pay a programmer. And I think it's quite a good tip. I'm going to stop it because actually we don't want the best result. We just want something which makes money. From 2007 till today, well, actually today is 23rd. And this is the back test of this very simple trading system. And it looks quite neat, as you can see, right? It's not a perfect back test. The last period is not so good. I can improve the system a lot, but I'm just proving you can do trading systems very, very easily with FX Streamer. Just you need to get a hold of it and start with less than 10 rules. I just did here this simple system with moving average and RSI. I, of course, need to do the other rule, which is the sell rule, right? Which I would do here on the right, and then I would carry here the sell now on market conditions. I can do also pending orders. I can do all kinds of things. I can put a time filter, right? Like don't enter at this hour. I can connect it this way through the time filter, right? Let me erase this one. And instead of trading all day long, I'm going to delete this. And now I have a filter, and I tell him trade only, for example, in the Asian session, because it's more this RSI plus, I'm maybe confusing you with two different systems, right? The ADX system I showed you here is more of a trend system, more trendy, and the other one is more of a mean reversion system. But whatever, I would filter this just only on the Asian session to trade, right? And the other one I would trade only on the European and American sessions. And you can play as much as you want. The only thing is you need to learn how to optimize. You need to learn how to optimize. That's the value really in doing trading systems. You cannot just, a trading system can be very profitable. As you saw, a very simple system can be profitable if I have the right parameters. If I have the wrong parameters, let me choose a wrong set of parameters like this one. Same bot, and I lose the full account. So the real value, the next tip is do a lot of systems with FXDreamer. Next tip, learn how to optimize, because there's a whole difference. I mean, it's a whole world of difference between these parameters, right? An ADX of 26, a value of 42, a moving average of 39 and 26 crossing, stop loss 34, take profit 36, loses the account, right? While the other set of parameters doubles the account. It's a huge difference, right? You had 10 grand, and when you finish the back test on this one, for example, over this many years, you have doubled your capital, and your risk is very low. You're risking per trade less than 1%, because if you have 10 grand, 10,000 is 100 times 100. So if I just move the comma twice, I have percentage. So I'm risking 0.95% per trade on this extremely simple system, which I did in front of your eyes. So I think it's better if you guys ask me questions and regarding this. So build simple systems, learn how to optimize, test a lot, and the next advice, the next tip, which I consider is very, very, very crucial, is that forward testing is always much more valuable than back testing, because we did, right now it's back testing. We just test the systems against historical data. It may be good, it may be bad, we don't know. What is very, very important is to use this tool. That's the next tip. It's called MyFXBook. It's a free tool. It's like the Facebook for Forex traders. You can also have indices here. Anything which is on MetaTrader will upload, and even other platforms. There's over 200,000 traders using this, and it's like my Facebook, right, of Forex, MyFXBook. It's for free. That's one of my students. That's a real account. They turned 5 grand into 8 grand in around 5 months. But what is most important, it's audited, it's verified, it's a real account, and the risk level was extremely low. We trade in euros, as we are in the mainland of Europe. So they were having a 5 grand account, and they were just risking 16 euros, which is less than, it's actually 0.3% risk on every trade. That's nothing to get to this actually very, very good result, which is a 62% over this period of time, with quite a okay drawdown and a 5% monthly earning on average. This is the tool you need to use after you have done your bots, right? You do the bots, you back test them, you do a lot of them, you do a whole lab, you try out things, you try your ideas, you may buy bots, but it's better if you do the bots. And then what you need to do, once you have the bot and the backtest is good, you need to put it on the market, because that's the real proof of the pudding. It can be a great backtest and a terrible forward test. So I have this bot which I did, which I called, where is it? It's down here. It's the ADX, this one. The ADX with the moving average. It has just an ADX and 2 moving averages. That's all it has up here. And if I want to trade it, I drag and drop it here. Obviously on the same chart I optimized, right, which is the euro dollar, and then I need to put the right settings here. I can either copy them or I can save them, right? I need to put these settings, which is ADX4, right? The level of the ADX is 47 and so on. So that would be here 4, 47, and this will start trading once I let the bots trade. Right now you see the smiley here, and it will check every hour if the rule is complied with or not. And then I will upload my account to my FX book, like I showed you one of my students. And this is the real proof of the pudding with the real money, how things are going, is the balance growing, that's withdrawals they did, right? Is the profit steady? Are they making good money? This day they made 300, which is a very good day. The worst day they lost 400. But that's steady trading. It's very important because people don't notice this is 1,700 trades, right? This is an audited account, and the worst day they lose 400 on 5 grand. That's a very bad day actually. But there's many days they make earnings, 85 on a day, right? 153, 130, and this account is open. You can check it out. We're not hiding anything. It's really public. You can check the same thing. Just go on the profit tab, and we teach you how to deal with this tool. It's a great tool because you can analyze everything. You can analyze on which pairs, on which hours did we make the big money. Was it more Asian scalping, right? On which days are we making more money? On which pairs is it working better? Because this is a basket of trading systems, right? The bigger money was done on the euro dollar, as you can see here, right? They made just almost 3 grand only on euro dollar. But of course you need other pairs to trade on. And this is a free tool. You can analyze everything. You can even go and check, browse trade by trade, how the trades were made, right, when they entered the market. So these are basically my 2 advices today. Use FXstreamer, right, fxstreamer.com to make the bots, and use my FX book to analyze the results. And if you're good at it and you know how to optimize, you can do a lot of systems, and many will not work, of course. But if you find something which has consistency, which has a basic idea, which is powerful, like for example an ADX filter on 2 moving averages on the price, this will make you money, as you saw here. And not only on the euro dollar, we go, and then the next test we do is we go on other pairs and we check, okay, great, it made money on the euro dollar. What about on other pairs? That's the real proof of the pudding. And this is the same bot on the New Zealand Swiss franc. Again, 9 years. And as you see, it has a great back test as well. And then we take other pairs and so on. And if we notice that this bot is starting to work in 3, 4, 5 pairs, there is some consistency. It makes money on more than 1 pair. There is something there. There is money there. And it's beautiful, really. If you start doing this and you become good at it, it's a great way of trading. And I really invite you to have a look into it. I'm going to show you in a minute our YouTube channel. I'm going to give you our email. I'm going to give to everybody who's interested in this bot for free, which I did on Sunday in 10 minutes. I'm saying it's not the best of the bots, but if you optimize it You can get some results. Just send us an email with your data, your name, phone number, how many years in trading, and you'll get, Olga will send you the bot so you can play with it. And it's just one example of something you can do real quick. So if you have some questions, I went very fast today. It's like it's only half an hour into the webinar. But if you have some questions, you can already go ahead, and we make it a bit more interactive today.
Okay, Pablo, John's asking, can you write your own indicators and in what language?
Yes, John, you can run all kinds of indicators. You can import them in FXtreema. Absolutely no problem. You see here this tab, John, My Indicators. And the language will be MQL, which is the language of MetaTrader. Let me tell you that MetaTrader is really like the #1 platform for traders worldwide. I would say 95% of the brokers use MetaTrader for different reasons. And the good thing about FXtreema, you can use both MetaTrader 5 and MetaTrader 4. So you just input your indicators here, and as I said, if you have less than 10 rules, it's for free, and you can play as much as you want. Export it to MQ4, that's MetaTrader 4, and you make your bots in absolutely no time. So you can use as many indicators as you want. I would first try, my recommendation, which is in the next slide, is don't overcomplicate it. If you don't make money with 2 simple indicators, that's the next slide, then you're not going to make money with a lot of indicators. I would suggest 2 indicators should be profitable to start with, right? If there is no money in a lot of pairs, you optimize, and there is no money, no real money. What is money for me? Money is a trading system has to make at least 10% per year on a very long back test, right? That's the minimum, because we are here in trading to make money, right? We are not here in trading just to spend our time watching the screens. So if you don't make on a nine-year back test 90% profits, that's not no money, really. And on the risk levels, for that percentage must be right. You shouldn't risk more than 1% on average per trade, and on maximally you shouldn't risk more than 2%. And your drawdown should be something which is really like acceptable. What is an acceptable drawdown for a professional trader? It's not more than 15%. If you see here, if you watch here, so we read the back test together, you're making here a 7% drawdown, which is nothing over 10 years, right? And on the euro dollar, we can go back on the optimization I just did. I have a drawdown of 9%, because I calculate this is the relative drawdown. I don't mind if I already doubled my account. What I care is like, what is it regarding my initial capital? And that's a 9%. And I'm risking a 1% maximally. That's consistent trading to make a 105% over 9 years. That's interesting, right? I'm making a 12% per year, risking a 9% on 10 years or 9 years back test. So that's what you're looking for. So I'm saying ADX and 2 moving averages make sense. I can improve the system, of course. I can put a trailing stop, of course. I can put 2 types of trailing stop, yes. I can put hour filters, but 2 simple indicators make money. Then I continue my research. Okay, I hope I answered your question, John.
Thank you, Pablo. Does this work with any broker, MK is asking?
Yes, I didn't understand the name. Yes, it's working with all kinds of brokers that have MetaTrader. I mean, we work with AxiTrader. We are very happy with them. They're in Cannon Street in the City of London. But you can trade it with any broker that has MT4, which could be around 2,000 brokers worldwide. So it shouldn't be a problem. And the code is yours. You are the owner of the code, right? I mean, you're not paying any coder. Nobody else has it, right? You can improve it. You can tweak it as much as you want, both in coding. I just put a rule additionally. You saw it here, right? I decided I want an hours filter. What if I want to put another rule, right? And I can just improve it as much as I want. I'm the owner. I have the copyright.
Okay. What about Dean's asking, is there a rule for a moving average breakout and retouch retracement for entry?
Okay, you are talking about a pullback system, right? Yeah, if I understood Dean, what you're asking, if you can clarify this a bit further, you're asking if there is a good rule for a pullback system? Are we talking, let me
Yeah.
draw it
Yeah.
maybe.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what you're asking, yeah. Well, the trick about pullbacks is a very good question, actually. Let me draw here with paint. So, very smart question. Let's see the trader behind the question there. Let me, sorry, the paint is in Spanish, but you will understand when I draw, right? Okay, so what we're looking for here in this retracement, or better called pullback, we first need to establish we have a trend, right? Otherwise, trading on the pullback makes no sense. And many people decide they have a trend already on the first retracement, and that's a huge mistake because I didn't confirm yet this is a trend. So I need at least two maxima or two minima to confirm I have a trend. I call it the 2-1 rule. I mean, if you want to confirm something, you need at least two maximum and one minimum. That's I could trade on this pullback, but I could never trade on the first one. That's the first thing, and you need to code it this way, which is not so easy. The problem with the pullback is where do you enter? Because let me tell you, Fibos ain't working. They are really, Fibos are very nice. On the afterhand, if you put a Fibonacci and it works, and you show the screen in a lecture and everybody applauds, it's great, but it's making no money. So the question is, where do I enter on this retracement or pullback? And what I noticed from doing many trading systems is that the best rule, and I'm going to give it out for free because I never tell it actually, is that we use two moving averages to confirm the pullback or the cross, and what we need to measure is the angle. This angle will give you a very good, very good pullbacks. This will be the best confirmation, and I have a trading system which is trading already over 5 years, and this is the rule. Two moving averages and the angle between them. Once they cross, plus they must have a certain angle, this is the right entry point, as you see here. This is the entry point for this pullback, and it gave me very good results in many pairs and instruments.
Is it possible to change the color?
The color in the bots?
Is it possible to change the color of the candle if the criteria is satisfied?
Of course. But the question is like, you want to change the color of the candle when entering? Because the color will not affect your bot at all. It's just only something fancy to look at. I mean, the bot is going to make the rule independently of the color. I didn't get the question fully.
I think that, Jatendra, I think it's just saying, is it possible to change the color of the candle if the criteria is satisfied? I think maybe just looking for a visual indicator that criteria has been achieved.
You can create indicators if the question is going in this direction. You can create indicators. You can create not only bots here, but you could create conditions for indicators, you see? And you could put here a visible indicator, right? If that's the question. And
green in an uptrend and red in a downtrend, for example.
Of course. You need to get acquainted with the tool. And FXDream is very dynamic. I've seen many builders. I can tell you other names, Molani's, I can tell you Forex SB, which does the builder genetically, Strategy Quant, and many others. And this is one of my favorites because it's very easy to do. And of course, if you want an indicator, just create your indicator and export it as an indicator, not as a bot. And you can put any color. You can put here any color, green, dark green, whatever. More settings. We just need to find where they are. I'm not the super expert in it, but I'm sure you can put any colors here.
And Trevor asks, what are the differences between MQ4 and EX4?
Good question, Trevor. MQ4 is the open source code. That means that you can watch the code. Let's do it actually. This was my super trendy moving average RSI bot, which I did just now in the lecture, which makes no money, guys. I mean, don't trade that. And I just open it. Let me share it on the right screen. And this is my bot. I can even put my copyright, right? So I say, okay, this was done by me, so it's mine, right? So everybody will read this. When, in case I give out the bot or whatever, I can change this. Okay, or maybe we want to keep that it's done with FXtreema, whatever. And I can read the code. You see that? That's exactly what it did. This bot, this strange trendy bot, right? And MQX4 is compiled code. I cannot read it. It's if you want to give it out, for example, to somebody, and you don't want to share the source code, you give out the EX4. There's no way they can crack it. But the trader did it so well. Like for example, you see here the bots, expert advisors, and you see here like Saturn with rings, the Lord of the Rings, Saturn, and you see here a satellite. If the satellite is dark gray, means it's an EX4. It's compiled. There is no way I can read the source code, and if it's clear yellow, means that the source code is open and everybody can read it and modify it. So it depends on you. If you want to share it and you don't want to give out the idea, you export EX4. If you want to modify it later or you're trading for yourself, you export MQ4. Good question, Trevor.
And Joseph is saying, what service are you providing? Are you selling the robot or coaching clients to make their own robots? Could you just clarify what part you, as the FX method, play?
Good question. We have now an English group coming in July. We've been lecturing in London every 1.5 months, also with the help of Simon and other portals. And what we offer is a 5 full-day course in our trading lab, which is like 60 hours. It's a very intensive education. And then we have a follow-up of 6 months. We will teach you everything around automated trading successfully, because there's people that just give you a bot and it stops working. Let me tell you, no matter if it's a manual trading system or an automated trading system, they will not last forever. If you're very lucky, a good trading system will last 1 year. If you're very, very lucky, 2 years. But after that, the market will change. So we'll give you, the FX method is a whole methodology that we teach in live courses in our trading lab. Here's the price. Here's our Skype. You can add us if you want to know more about that, if you want the brochure. And this is our email. If you want to get the free bot, feel free to write us. Just give us your data. Or if you want more information about the paid education, we of course recommend to go the full way, because of course I made it very simple today. I made a bot very quickly, but it's not that simple, right? You need to get educated. So that's actually what we do. We train people to do it by themselves. The other thing we do is we join with, in this case, with AxiTrader. That's the other offer, which is here in this slide. And if you open a $2,000 account, we give you 2 very good bots for free. But you need to fund your account. They are in London. It's an FCA-regulated broker. So if you're interested in getting 2 great bots, which we developed, which are much more complicated than just an ADX indicator and 2 moving averages, then feel free to do that. Contact us, and you'll get the 2 bots. You can play with them, and then you can later do our education. You can go both ways, actually. And you'll get also a free education from us if you become a client of AxiTrader. So that's the 2 offers, right? I consider the best way is really go all the way. I mean, learn the whole thing, and then you have a 6 months follow-up, and we share everything in the group. We share the live accounts, we share the demo accounts of the students, and you need to try a lot of things in order to be consistent, right? Because automated trading is a great thing to do, but you need to learn it properly.
Mm-hmm. Pablo, the slide says April, but I guess you're talking about July. Is that?
Sorry, yeah, it's July. Sorry.
That's fine. Now, optimization Ken's asking, can you explain more about the process of optimization?
Okay, there is some videos. Actually, we did one, I think, with Simon around the clock about it. But basically, there is two ways of optimizing. I'm going to show you the most basic way now. This is actually if you enter here in MetaTrader view, strategy tester, and after that, Ken, if you write us, I'm going to send you a link where you have it much more in detail. Actually, I can put it here in the chat now, so everybody can watch this video. Just give me 1 sec to recover our YouTube channel. It's over here, and you have here some videos on optimization. That's the channel. I can copy it here maybe into the chat. And just 1 second. You can also subscribe to our channel, and here we go, optimization. There we go. This is the first video you should be watching about optimization, how to go in detail about it, because I'm just going to show you where you need to click, but there's much more to it. I mean, you really need to I'm sharing it now in the chat. That's the optimization video number 1, and there is another one here about introduction to basic optimization. That's the other way to optimize. Okay, so you should watch these 2 videos. They are 1 hour long, so it's 2 hours, and you should stop them and watch just step by step. But basically, what you do is you use the tester of MetaTrader, which is here, view strategy tester, right? You choose your EA, which is this ADX moving average bot. You choose the pair. You choose the time window you want to test it on. It should be many years, not just 1 year. The time frame, the spread. I usually take a more expensive spread. Now AxiTrader has 1.3, 1.4. On average, they will be trading 1.0, 1.1. It's quite inexpensive. It's a good broker. They're very strong in Australia. And then what you do here is you select here the parameters you want to optimize. Like you say, okay, I want an ADX going from 1 to 75, which is very long period for an ADX, right? A stop loss from 10 pips to 100 pips in steps of 2. You select here the genetic algorithm, and it's going to search by itself. It's going to make a cloud, but there is much more to it, actually. So I recommend you watch the videos so you get an idea on how to optimize. Of course, in our paid education, you'll get a full professional value on optimizing, because, as I said, the money is in the optimization. I mean, you can make very simple bots and lose money or earn money depending on how good you are as an optimizer. I hope I more or less managed to answer the question, because it's a very complex question. It will take us, like, out of these 5 days, we'll spend 3 days optimizing. So it will take us 40 hours to answer this question fully. You know, that's the full professional answer. But this was a very short answer, just in a minute, to give you an idea where to press, which buttons to press to optimize, right? You click here and select here genetic here, and that's the beginning, actually, only.
Okay, just to answer 1 or 2 people asking questions on whether this is being recorded, yes it is, and we will have the recordings ready for you as soon as possible, but it'll be tomorrow afternoon, I think, at the earliest, for the recordings. Dean's asking, what education comes with the software? I think you touched on that earlier.
What software comes with the education, or I couldn't?
What education comes with the software?
Which software? With FXtrema, because I mentioned a lot of software. The bot, the builder, our education, 5 days long. If you can clarify that.
Yeah, Dean, if you want to contact Pablo direct, maybe he could clarify. The software that you are using, okay, he's answered the question. Sorry, Dean, that's great, thanks. You've already answered the question, I think, in your other chat.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Extrema, to be honest, comes with very little videos. They deliver very little education. But if you do our paid education, we'll be dealing with it a lot. We'll be dealing with making bots over 6 months. That's the slide I showed at the end. That's what you mentioned. This is this tutorial here. After you do our paid education in July, sorry, not in April, then you have a follow-up. And in this follow-up, we'll be doing bots with FXtreamer. We will guide you and we will help you. And besides, we will tell you also where to find made bots. So you'll have both choices. You can download bots that exist and you can do them from scratch, and we will be hand-holding you. I mean, because actually one of the problems of FXtreamer, I think the question went in this direction, is there is absolutely only 2 videos I found online that explain a little bit, and they're very fast. They really just only show 2 people in English. They show how to do the bots very quickly, and they don't show you all the features of the software. It's a little bit of a pity. There is not much tutorials about it. I mean, on the other hand, it's for free, so we cannot complain that much, right? It's a great tool and it's very simple, but you need to learn the details. This is true.
Okay. Now, 1 or 2 people saying they're not. The slides are getting a bit stuck, and
okay.
I'm starting to see everything okay. I think I can see you. You've gone back to the slide now, which is fine. So I think that must be a localized problem that he's having there. Okay. Well, we're about 5 minutes to the end. I think we've covered a lot of the questions. We have recorded this. A lot of you asking, is this recorded? Seem to be coming in sort of halfway through and so forth, want to start from the beginning. We'll get that recording of it posted out to you. But of course, if you refer to the chat box, Pablo's put that YouTube address in the chat box, which can take you to a wealth of content that he has already recorded on the automated trading. So you might want to go there before we manage to get this recording processed and out to you. That's the place to go. And there's the email address as well, oliverexpertadvisors@gmail.com. You'll be able to contact Pablo directly, get all the information you need. So great, Pablo, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much. It's especially on a very interesting day, very moving day.
I hope the next time you arrive in London, you won't be needing a visa.
My goodness.
And likewise, the next time I cross the border into Spain. But who knows? It's certainly going to be interesting. There's a bit of a news blackout until the polling closes at 10 o'clock tonight. So it'll be interesting to find out tomorrow. But of course, the automated way is your you prescribe the automated way to trade so that you can get on with life at the same time. But Pablo Ortiz from the FX method, thanks very much indeed for joining us and telling us all about automated trading. We'll take the presentation back.
A pleasure, Simon. A pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Speak to you again soon. Thanks, Pablo. Bye-bye for now.
Welcome. Bye-bye.